to do it because I spent the last couple of days trying to figure out how to do all this audio stuff for streaming on Twitch and for recording, and it's taken so much time that I had to take the time to do this. I also wrote a Medium article about it that includes a lot of the links and some step-by-steps on everything I'm going to walk through. So why did I do this? Why is this a thing? So there are a lot of solutions out there, but I think that mine might be really good. So good, so well, I might actually work with another developer. We might actually build this. So I've got a diagram up here, and what this is kind of my setup right now. We have our Xbox, and why this is important and why this really kind of became a thing is because I want to be able to play my Xbox and listen to it and talk to people while also being able to hear my computer and talk to people on that. And unless you buy like $150 mixer cable, mixer box, there's not a really good solution for this. But I'd spent a lot of time, and I think I found something that works really, really well. So what we have going on here, you need a couple things. You need the virtual audio cable. You need the voice meter banana. I have the Arctis 7 headphones. Boop, boop. I have OBS. I have Spotify. I have this other crazy alpha called Audio Router. This is kind of the magic that makes all of this possible. I use Steam when I'm streaming or when I'm playing games. I have Discord for chatting and talking to people, and the other little kind of magic to my setup is using the Windows 10 Xbox app. So that said, let's kind of go over a quick flow of what's happening here and why. So the Xbox One is talking to Elgato. I have the HD60S. It has the HDMI that goes directly into OBS for streaming, and that includes the audio that the Xbox itself hears. Then there's a line out, and this is kind of where I get to use these Arctis 7s that are wireless headphones wirelessly while I'm playing the Xbox, because I'm running the line out into the voice banana. So on the back of my computer there's a line in input, and I'm running the line out into that line in. Then I'm setting that audio device in voice banana as my input 3. Now I can hear what my Xbox is doing. The downside is people can't hear me on Xbox, kind of. So by using the Windows 10 app, I can talk to people in party chat, which is awesome. Because honestly, I don't want to go into Call of Duty and just generally talk in like the main screen or whatever game, because nobody wants to listen to you. Nobody wants to listen to me. Everybody's just going to mute you. Anybody who actually does this, just know that everybody's muting you and nobody's just listening to you talk or sing or hum or your stupid TV on in the background. Just don't do it. There's no point to it. If somebody wants to talk to you, they'll join your party chat. And so in this instance, I'm playing games on Xbox. I don't know why I'm pointing. I'll use the mouse. I'm playing games on Xbox, but I'm chatting with my Xbox friends that I'm playing games with through the Windows Party app. I can also chat to Discord with people on Discord, and people they can chat with me. And the beauty of this is all of this goes into the Windows default playback device. My mic gets mounted into these different devices, but their audio is routed out into the default Windows playback device, which is then streamed into OBS. So my streamers or my viewers, they can listen to my Xbox. They can listen to me talk to people on Xbox. They can listen to me talk to people on Discord, and people on Discord talk to me. The other thing that is very important is that my headset audio is not tied to the same default playback device that OBS is listening to, because I need to be able to listen to my Xbox separately. So OBS mutes everything, so I don't have the ability to listen to my Xbox through OBS. So that's where the voice banana comes in. We create these different inputs, and we route our default playback devices into our hardware input 1. And then we put Spotify through audio router, which lets us specify Spotify's playback device into audio 2 through this cable A, and I'll get into that in a second. And then our audio from the Xbox is being ran through input 3. Now I can hear everything that's going on, but OBS doesn't hear itself or hear the Xbox twice, which is good. The other thing is OBS hears Spotify, and this is why we put it on a different route, but it's not being ran through track 2. It's only being ran through track 1, which means that when we record, we can remove Spotify from our recording. And that helps for if you want to edit. That's really kind of where this all started. If you want to edit, or if you want to upload stuff to Spotify and you don't want to have people griping at you about copyrights, you can always add music back into it. If all it was background music, then you can always add that music back in. You can even get royalty-free music and just stay on the up and up. So this lets all of my OBS stuff be recorded without having to get this second line and without having Spotify, but I can still hear everything through the voice meter banana. Alternately, if you're not doing Xbox, you can use this third cable B setting to route anything that you don't want streamed or recorded, but you want to be able to hear it. I don't know what that might be. So the basic setup of this is cable A is everything that you want to stream and record. No, sorry, take that back. Cable is everything that you want to stream and record. Cable A is only things you want to stream, and cable B is only things you want to hear but not stream or record. So let's get into how we have this set up. So step 1 is to install a whole bunch of stuff. Download it all and install it. You need OBS, you need voice meter banana, you need virtual audio cable, and you need to purchase the extra cable A and cable B. It's confusing. It's why I keep messing up when I'm saying it, because it's cable A, and cable B. It's kind of like a data array. The cable is 0, and then you have cable 1 and 2. But they're called A and B, and it's not an array at all. It's just audio devices. Once you have everything download, go ahead and set up the typical items like Spotify and Discord and get acquainted with OBS. This video is not about how to set up OBS. It's how to set up all of this audio stuff. Then once you have all of that, install all 3 of the virtual cables. You're gonna go in, you're gonna install these, you're gonna buy them from some crazy either Russian or German looking country. What I did, because I don't really trust these German or Russian countries, I mean, I'm less afraid of the Germans, but certainly these Russians are trying to steal all of our money. No offense to any Russians that are watching this. So what I did was I bought a Visa gift card and I used that to pay for it. $5 seems to be worth every penny so far. I've spent $5 on significantly less useful things. So once you have all 3 of those installed, because this is Windows, and for some reason after 30 years of Windows you still have to reset, you have to restart your computer almost every time you do anything. So restart your computer, and when you come back you should be able to go down into your inputs and do the playback devices, and you'll see now we have under playback, unintuitively, we have cable inputs, 3 of them, and recording, again, unintuitively, it's outputs. Feel like that should be the other way around, but I'm not going to question it. It works. It's just a little confusing when you're trying to set everything up. Make sure that your default microphone is your Yeti mic, this right here, or whatever kind of microphone you have. Whatever kind of microphone you have. Mine is a Yeti. It's all right. I don't know if I recommend it, but it seems to be popular and it's fairly easy to use. Playback this is important. So if you right click on these, you'll see this set as default device and set as default communications device. These settings, I'm just going to go ahead and do this just so we can see. They kind of disappear as you click them. Cable input, not A, not B, but cable input is our main audio device. So we want to set both the default and the default communications. And the default communications is important because stuff like Discord and your Xbox One party chat runs over the communications device, but we want to hear those on the same channel. We don't want to separate those channels. So make sure that they're both set on cable, not input, not A, not B, cable input. Once that's all set up, you're good to go. You click OK. Next, we want to open up Voicemeeter. Let me drag this over here, and we get this mixer. So input 1 is going to be cable. Hardware input 2 is going to be cable A, and hardware input 3 is going to be our line in from our Elgato. It automatically creates a channel for us, a playback device, and that's what we want to capture on input 3, because that's what we want to be able to hear while we're playing our games on Xbox. And since we're not using the Xbox's audio, we're using the Elgato's line out audio, which is the same thing. And there may be a tiny bit of unnoticeable latency, but for in all intensive purposes, it's a really, really good solution. Once we have all three of those set up, alternatively, if you were to take the route of doing this non-record, non-streaming setup, you would route that to hardware 3 instead. Make sure that A is selected. This basically tells us what output channel we want to put this on, and we're going to come up here and we're going to set our output channel to be our headphones, MME headphones series 2. Anytime you change something in here, you're going to want to go into menu and go to restart audio. This will kind of like refresh the I don't know, the drivers, I suppose, to make sure that this is picking up all of the sound and routing it to where it actually needs to go. In audio router, now we need to come over here. Now I've already done mine, but I'm going to undo it. So if you click on Spotify, you get this little pop-up right here, and it will show all the different inputs. Let's just put it on input now. So now that we're on input 1, and I click play, it'll move. So this is one bug. This, like I said, this thing is like crazy alpha. Notice we can't hear anything yet. That's because our mixer is going to need to be reset. But this is crazy alpha. So sometimes Spotify doesn't show up in this list. Sometimes you have to start playing. Sometimes it just doesn't show up at all. However, they have this fancy little thing where you can come over here to File and go to Views or Switch View, which pulls up the list of all of your stuff. And there's Spotify. So you'd be able to do everything here by double clicking. You can set it to whatever input you want. However, again, because this is crazy alpha, it doesn't save any of your settings yet. So just because I went to File and Switch, I came back, everything's broken. This is part of why I put all of the default devices onto the cable 1, so that way almost everything can just attach itself directly to cable 1, which is the default device. We want Spotify though to be on cable A. So we come up here, we switch this, we go to cable input A, we click OK. It pens, we come down here, play something, it starts to switch over, now it's playing. We come back over here and we hit restart audio. I can hear this. You guys can't hear it, but I can hear it. And you can see Voicemeeter can hear it now too. So let me pause this. So let me show you how that works. Oh gosh, I didn't know Voicemeeter had a donation thing. Anyways, let's put this back onto our default audio device. And let's restart our engine and now hit play. Now you should be able to hear that because I'm recording that channel in OBS, but I'm not recording channel A. So let's switch that back over again one last time, and we're going to move on, as I think I've made my point. Pending, let's hit play so it can trigger the audio device. It reset, it's down here now. We come back in here, let's hit play. Notice it's getting sound. I can't hear anything though. But if I hit restart audio engine, boom, there's audio in my ear. Sounds great. All right, so now the next thing is, we have all of our stuff set up. So now we need to go into OBS, and I am currently actually in OBS. So let's get the screenception going. And you can see right here, I got microphone. I don't know why where the phone went from this, but we have the microphone. You can see it's talking. And I set this up to be my coding scene. So in the coding scene, I have background music, I have my webcam, and I have my screen that I'm on. If I start playing Spotify music, you can see the background music is playing. So this would currently be streaming, but you can't hear this because it's not coming through. If I press this button right here, this is the other piece of magic. Hold on, I can't think over the Spotify blaring in my ears. So now, the way this works is we click on this little thing right here, the little gear, and we open up advanced audio properties. Once we're in this advanced audio properties, we can see all the different background music percentage and all the different sounds and stuff that we have mapped to our OBS already. And what we're interested in here is these tracks. Now, our microphone, we want to record on any track. So it's set to all the settings. However, Spotify, we don't want being recorded. So we only set it on track 1. Then when we go into our settings and we go to our outputs, and I can't show you because of course I'm streaming, there'll be a setting for streaming and for recording, and it will let you pick which track it records for streaming and for recording. Recording is set to track 2. Streaming is set to track 1. So everything can get set here to track 1 that we want heard, we want streamed. But the background music, we only want streamed, we don't want it recorded, so we just uncheck the checkbox. So if I turn on the checkbox, I don't know if this will apply while I'm actually recording. You should actually hear music now, and barely me. And that's it. If I had everything else running right now, like the Xbox or some party chats and Discord going, I could show a little bit more of a detailed example, but trust me, it all works, and this is a much better solution than actually going out and paying $150 for a mixer. I think the mixer sounds cool. You can do a lot of cool stuff on the fly. You don't have to worry about dealing with all these faders and stuff, and you don't have to make sure that everything loads and all this. Okay, you know what? I kind of talked myself out of this. If you have $150, the mixer might be a better route to take. But if you don't want to spend $150 and you want a little bit more control over everything, this is definitely a really good way to go with it, because you can separate everything. And with that said, thanks for watching, and peace out, losers.